I'm going to be showing you several examples of the clay monsters that you're going to be making in Art Foundations. So first of all, in designing your sculpture, your monster has to have a way to see, and it also has to have a way to hear. So I have two little small ears on this guy. And then it also has to have a way to move. So think about how your monster is going to move. Is it going to jump around? Is it going to be moving around on these big clumpy feet? And maybe it's going to slither, maybe it has tentacles, but you have to have negative space underneath your monster. So the negative space is this stuff that's underneath your main cylinder. So the feet have to have fairly chunky, they have to be fairly big so that it can support the weight of the monster, all that weight up above, okay? And what else do we need to have? It should also have some tactile texture. So here we've got like kind of this bumpy texture that I put into it, and then we're also going to have smooth texture. And so I'll be talking more about that later. I can also teach you how to carve teeth. These are not individual teeth that were made. They were actually carved out, so I can show you how to do that. And then also be thinking about other things that you want to include, such as like a horn, a way for it to smell. So I've got his little nose right there. And this one I actually have a little succulent plant that is in it. It's looking pretty sad at the moment, but it kind of gives him some hair, so that's kind of fun. Next, coming up, I have this pretty girl in pink. And so she's got these great big huge 3-toed feet. Alright, so I'll kind of try to tip that a little bit for you so you can actually see those feet a little bit bigger or better. So here again, there's the main cylinder, and then these tentacles that are on there, they are pretty thick and bulky and able to support the main cylinder up above. So here we have that tactile texture, and I've got some more here on the bottom side of the tentacles, and then we've got a smooth texture, and he's got a really big nose. She's got a really big nose there, some three horns on her nose, really big lips. She's got some tiny little ears on top, and then some big blue eyes. And yes, she kind of needs a pedicure. Her nails are pretty long there, you can see as I turn it to the side. But maybe that's the way she likes them. The other thing I want you to know too is like these will be functional. Like that other one that I showed you, you could put a plant in it. Sometimes people like to put some of their art supplies inside it. I've had students tell me that they put their hairbrush or makeup brushes and that sort of thing in there. So whatever you want to put in there, or it could just be empty. Alright, so this last guy that I want to show you, I also want you to be thinking about abnormal proportions so that it will visually be kind of whimsical and creepy all at the same time, but kind of cute also. So I'm going to turn him here. Don't just be thinking of for how it moves, how it would move. I have 5 feet on this guy. Alright, so there's 5 feet all the way around, and then some really long claw toenails there at the bottom. And I've kind of overlapped those nails with the middle nail sitting on top of the other two. Alright, so again, I carved those teeth. They were all out of one big piece of clay along with that gum. And I don't know why, I just have this thing about these monsters having them with one big eye and one smaller eye. And then I really love these great big huge ears that stick out off to the side. And I'm going to come back around here. You can see how much the tongue sticks out. He's got kind of this short little nose. It's kind of like a rhinoceros nose, but really tiny. So I kind of play with the proportions of things. So really great big huge ears and a really tiny nose. So you're going to kind of think about abnormal proportions. And again, that will just kind of add to that whimsical cute yet creepy factor of your monsters. So another thing that I want you to be thinking about too is that the smooth texture, we're going to put this really cool like crystal glaze on there, and then the area that you're going to put that tactile texture, we're going to use just a plain glaze on that, okay, because it really helps show off the texture. If you were to put this crystal glaze over the top, so this one happens to be white, and then it's got some chunks of like this neon green and a little bit of like teal in it. And if you were to put this crystal glaze on that tactile texture, like you wouldn't even see the texture at all. So that's why it's important that you're going to choose one color for the texture and another color for this, or this crystal glaze goes on the smooth part of your little critter. So I have a whole bunch of different glazes. So say you like this crystal glaze right here. Come in a little closer so you can see that. You're just going to be finding some other colors that go well with it. This crystal glaze has some speckles of kind of a darker yellow, so that you could use the sunflower glaze. And there's some darker green in there. You could use the emerald green. So that might look good together. And I have a whole bunch of these different colors, you guys. So here's one. It's called Cranberry Burst. And it looks nice with this floral pink glaze. It's just a really pretty pastel glaze. And then, of course, you can use all sorts of other colors to go with it. And I chose kind of this purple color because I wanted the eyes on my monster to show off a little bit more. So those are just a few examples of mine for this project.